Yo, what up, and welcome back to Pnoid News. Man, listen. All right, yo, look. I got a video for y'all today because I'll be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? I want everybody to understand why it is that I'm not a big fan of the police. Like, legit. There's a lot of individuals out here who just, they worship the fucking cops as if, like they're just here to help everybody and just allow everyone to, move about their life freely and whatnot. And I'm going to show you a fucking situation with a Karen and a nosy bitch not minding a business legitimately to just cost the taxpayers $5 million, right, on some nonsense because they decided to stand here and over motherfucking step they bounds.
Welcome to Audit the Audit, where we sort out the who and what and the right and wrong of police interactions. This episode covers 911 calls, de-escalation, and false reporting by police, and is brought to us by Mark Domino's channel. Be sure to check out the description below and give them the credit that they deserve.
Everybody should be subbed to this channel, Audit the Audit. Like, real shit. I don't care who you are, you should be subbed to this channel. Real shit. Like, yo, this dude here is doing God's work. Just want to put that in there real quick.
Before we dive into the interaction, I want to give a big thanks to the sponsor of this episode, YouGov. If you've ever needed a quick buck or just a little extra cash on the side to help you pay for your next online shopping spree, YouGov could be your answer. With YouGov, you can earn points by taking polls and surveys about topics ranging from politics and public affairs to products and brands, and convert those points into cash rewards or gift cards from some of the top brands on the market today. Earning money through YouGov is as simple as a few clicks, so get your next tattoo or date night fun started today by clicking on the link in the description. Thanks again to YouGov for sponsoring this episode. On June 24th, 2019, 52-year-old Mark Domino drove his motorcycle to work and parked on the backside of the parking lot. Mr. Domino and his wife both worked at the same retail store in Clarkston, Washington, and his wife drove their car to work and parked on the opposite end of the lot. After Mr. Domino's shift, he went to his car before crossing the parking lot to ride his motorcycle home. As Mr. Domino was looking through his vehicle, a citizen parked nearby, Jody Brunel, noticed him, believed his actions to be suspicious, and called 911.
Police and fire, this is Mallory.
Hi, I'm at the Clarkston Walmart.
Hi, I'm a Karen, and I just saw a black guy do something, and I wanted to make sure I reported it because I need extra attention because, well, let's be honest, I'm getting old and the Facebook likes aren't as much as they used to be.
Walmart right now, and I just saw a gentleman stop and get in 3 different doors of a car, looking around, and I kind of watched him to see if it was his, and now he's walking clear away.
Okay.
I couldn't see if he took anything.
Okay.
Officer Chris Lors from the Clarkston Police Department arrived shortly after the call and confronted Mr. Domino.
How's it going, man? I'm Officer Lors, Clarkston Police Department. Put your phone down for a second. What do you got in your pocket there? Is that just something hanging off your backpack? What is that, a hanger? What are you doing with that? Is this your bike?
Yes.
It's your bike? You got it.
Yo, look, why the fuck is it the cop is touching somebody? Why did he just take a hanger off of this dude? Legitimately. Like, yo, he just walked up and punked the dude right in the middle of the street. This is why nobody likes the fucking police. Like, legitimately.
ID on you?
Why do you need my ID?
Because somebody saw you looking at cars, so I'm here just checking and see what's going on. You got ID on you?
Yeah, I do, but
Okay,
did I do
I'll
anything?
yeah, I'm figuring that out right now. I'll take a look at your ID, though.
You don't need my ID unless I did something.
Okay.
Unless you're taking me in for something like
Turn around, put your hands behind your back right now.
For
now!
What? For what?
Turn around and put your hands behind your back.
For
now!
What? For what?
So what you gonna do, bitch? Like, yo, legit, like, yo, I'll be real with you. Like, I'm surprised he didn't get shot right there. My man went and put that phone in his pocket. Like, yo, in that manner, like, yo, like, he was like, I'll be honest with you. I heard this earlier through my motherfucking, like, through like my headphones as I was walking around doing some shopping and shit. And I wasn't watching the video. Like, yo, legitimately, like, yo, my man's put that phone in his pocket rather roughly. I'll be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, he's like, what you gonna do? Yo, legit.
Before we get started,
108, pick it up.
please review these
You're gonna. You're going to obey me, or you're going to go on the ground.
Obey you?
What is this obey shit? You're not his fucking dad. The fuck is this? And he's 52 fucking years old. What is this obey nonsense?
Because I'm giving you a lawful order.
For what?
Turn around and put your hands behind your back.
Did I do anything?
Yes. Turn around and put your hands behind your back.
What did I do?
Do you want to get tased?
Excuse me?
Turn around and put your
hands. For what?
Yo, legit, it sounds like me talking like, you want to get your ass whooped? Like, you don't do what the fuck I told you to do. Like, yo, this is not, yo, legitimately. Like, what fucking makes you think you have this goddamn authority over regular fucking citizens and shit? You haven't even proven that this dude's done anything the fuck wrong as a whole.
Do you know I work here?
Turn around and put your hands behind your back.
Do you know I work here? This is my bike.
Okay.
So what did I do for you to approach me and then tell me that put my hands behind my back?
Sir.
What are you arresting me for?
I'm not arresting you. Right now, you're not cooperating with me.
For what?
And you're getting agitated.
You asked me for my ID.
Right.
I don't have to give you my ID.
Okay.
Unless I've done something. What have I done?
Turn around and put your hands behind your back.
For what? Are you arresting me?
And yo, by the way, you gotta respect somebody with a Loki t-shirt on. Just on some real shit. Just want to put that out there.
I'm detaining you.
Detaining me for what? Why are you detaining me?
You're not even listening.
What did I do for you to detain me?
Turn around and put your hands behind your back.
Was there a report that I stole something?
Yes.
There was a report that I stole something.
Turn around.
You just said,
Stop.
The Supreme Court has long held that officers may acquire reasonable suspicion through an anonymous tip, so long as the tip provides enough information to justify a stop. In the 1983 Supreme Court case of Illinois versus Gates, the court held that a totality of the circumstances test must be applied to determine whether an anonymous tip is sufficiently reliable to provide probable cause to issue an arrest warrant. In the Gates case, the officers did not personally witness any criminal activity take place, but the court held that the anonymous tip in question was reliable because officers could verify several events predicted by the tip. 7 years later, the Supreme Court held that an anonymous tip was sufficiently reliable to provide reasonable suspicion so long as the tip accurately predicted several key details in the 1990 case of Alabama versus White. In the White case, the court explained that, quote, if an informant is shown to be right about some things, he is probably right about other facts that he has alleged, including the claim that the object of the tip is engaged in criminal activity. The Supreme Court has upheld this notion as recently as 2014 in the case of Navarrete versus California. All of these cases were based on the notion of an anonymous caller, and given that Mrs. Brunel was not anonymous and provided an accurate description of Mr. Domino and his actions, it is likely that the Clarkston officer did have reasonable suspicion to make contact with and identify Mr. Domino. All that said, Officer Lors made no effort to de-escalate the encounter or engage in a productive dialogue with Mr. Domino, and instead began accusing him of stealing and ordering him to comply. As Officer Lors reaches for Mr. Domino's hand, he resists, and a scuffle ensues, which results in Mr. Domino being tasered multiple times before eventually being subdued and placed into handcuffs. Once the officers place Mr. Domino into their patrol car, they search his bag and make contact with Mrs. Brunel.
Are you Jody?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have your ID with you?
I do. I'm over here.
Okay.
I'm 214's mom.
Okay. Is that the male that you saw? Okay. Can you get me video? Male that came to this bike, everything that he did. He's an employee. We've got a witness that saw him going into cars, and we just fought and tased him. So
right there.
That bike, male come to it. Where did he walk? Which cars?
The car that he got into was clear on the other end.
Okay.
He kinda
So you
walked
saw one male walking from all the way over there?
Clear over to here.
And that's the male that we talked to.
Yeah, I watched him.
Okay.
He got into 3 doors of that car, and then he just walked away and came clear over here. So I thought, well, that's...
Yo, that white bitch legitimately just got that dude tased. Like, on some real shit. Yo, she is responsible for that dude legitimately getting fucking tased by the fucking police and thrown in the police car. And then watch this shit.
That's not right.
Okay.
But the woman came over
Can you
and...
start looking at that for me?
Yeah. The woman came over and was kind of pissed, saying it was his car registered with him. But Jude, you say it's your car.
19's on scene with the RP.
Yeah, before showed up, and not one of you I know. I'm Brad Peters' mom.
Okay, I'm Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Just so you know, everything's being recorded.
Oh, okay. So what did he say when you...
He wouldn't say anything to me. How many cars did he look at?
Just the one. But
Just the one.
Like-
So one car far,
Like my pickup would
a
be
gray
parked.
Chevy Aveo, is registered to him. The same as the bike.
Oh, both the bike and the car is his car. Wow. You just tased him for fucking getting into his car when he was on a bike. You ever consider maybe, just maybe, well, his wife works there. But secondly, like, yo, it could have easily been like, oh, man, you know, like, I called a ride home from work the other night. It broke down, or, you know what I'm saying? It could have been like, you know, any number of, like, he's riding a bike. It could have been, oh, man, you know, like, my bike was fucked up. So, you know what I mean? I called a ride home and brought my car in, and I'm taking my bike home today, and I'll be back to get my car later on some shit because it was bad weather or something. Like, yo, you fucking piece of shit cops. Like, yo, you fucking, Jesus Christ, you fucking people suck.
Okay. He could have...
Here, Officer Lors suggests that Mr. Domino could have explained his actions, but at no point during the initial encounter did Mr. Domino have enough information to know what actions led to him being contacted by the police. Although Officer Lors did say that Mr. Domino was reported for looking at cars, he also said that Mr. Domino was being accused of stealing, which likely confused Mr. Domino. Just 32 seconds passed from the point of initial contact to Officer Lors ordering Mr. Domino to place his hands behind his back. Officer Lors made no attempt to corroborate any of the information from the 911 call and shifted the focus of the stop to Mr. Domino's refusal to identify, rather than the alleged crime. The state of Washington only requires officers to undergo 2 hours of de-escalation training per year. However, it is one of the few states that also require supplementary training as well. There is no all-inclusive list that identifies all the methods and techniques officers might employ to de-escalate an incident. But earlier this year, the California Commission on Peace Officer Standards and Training created a de-escalation strategies and techniques manual that outlines several of the most fundamental principles of de-escalation and offers members of law enforcement thorough insight into how to de-escalate police interactions. One technique that the manual suggests is giving the suspect a voice by listening to their concerns, and the manual explicitly states that officers should seek first to understand before attempting to be understood. The manual also highlights the fact that there are many levels of control outside of physical control, and that while a lack of control can get an officer hurt, over-control, especially when not needed or justified, can cause hostility or draw a complaint. The manual goes on to state that physical control or force used for expediency, in most cases, should not be preferred over the use of skills and techniques of de-escalation that might otherwise take more time, but achieve the same desired result. Officer Lors' immediate reaction to Mr. Domino's passive resistance was to gain control by force, which ultimately evolved into a physical altercation. At no point did Officer Lors make an attempt to understand Mr. Domino's perspective or offer him the opportunity to explain his actions. If Officer Lors had taken the time to give context to why he was contacting Mr. Domino, then this interaction likely would have had a different
That face that is usually covered.
Hey, friend. So you saw him get into one car and then walk across the parking lot?
So say like my pickup was right here. That car would have been right there facing me. So I put my cart away, and when he walked down this way, he walked to the passenger side, got in that door, came around this way, got in the driver's door, then got in the back. And there was a car right next to him, so he's holding his keys, but he never used the key on anything. It was all unlocked. And then I couldn't tell if he grabbed anything.
Okay.
But then he just walked away down this aisle and then just headed straight over here.
Okay.
So, yeah, that looks like a prowl.
Right. Okay.
Oh, fucking Karen, bitch. Don't be trying to justify your bullshit now. Shut up. Fucking mind your goddamn business, bitch. Yo, for fuck's sake.
Let me get you a written statement form. If you could fill that out for me, I'd appreciate it.
He just wouldn't talk to you?
No, and then he started, like, he was just super agitated, super, I don't have to tell you my name. I'm like, listen, man, so right now you're being detained, and he got all jacked up, and so I'm like, okay, turn around and put your hands behind your back. I'm going to detain you. No. And then once Rabbit got here, he reached into his pocket real fast, and we went hands-on at that point. We sort of danced around with him because he's a big dude like this for a while. And then finally he wrapped his arm around me, and I had my taser out already, and I tased him, and we took him down and finally got him cuffed, but we fought with him the whole time. So all he had to do was talk.
Officer Lors recounts his version of events as if Mr. Domino was the aggressor during the confrontation. But let's compare Officer Lors' recollection of the event to what actually happened.
He just wouldn't talk to you?
No, and then he started, like, he was just super agitated. You got ID on you?
Why do you need my ID?
And I'm like, like, listen, man, you know, so right now you're being detained.
Did I do anything?
Yeah, I'm figuring that out right now. I'll take a look at your ID, though.
You don't need my ID unless I did something.
You know, and he got all jacked up, and so I'm like, okay, turn around and put your hands behind your back. I'm going to detain you. Okay.
Unless you're taking me in for something
Turn around and put your hands behind your back right now.
Now. For what?
Turn around and put your hands behind your back now. You're going to obey me, or you're going to go on the ground.
Obey you.
As you can see, there is a vast discrepancy between Officer Lors' version of events and what actually took place. It is no secret that officers sometimes lie when reconstructing interactions on police reports.
Yo, no shit. No shit, my friend. No shit.
And their motivations for doing so are obvious. Dr. Philip Stinson, who is an ex-police officer and now professor of criminal justice at Bowling Green State University in Ohio, has tracked...
Let me be real, man. I'm fucking the hell out of time. Like, let me be honest with you. I'm completely the fuck out of time right now. Like, let me keep that all the way 101 now. You know what I mean? Y'all make sure y'all go sub to this channel. You know what I mean? Do what you got to do. Audit the audit's great. I'll leave you a link in the description for this video. You know what I mean? Everybody should be watching this and checking this out and understanding your rights and, you know what I mean, how police interactions should go and what you're supposed to do. It's a beautiful channel, legitimately. You know what I'm saying? You know the deal. I'm Tom Pease and Pnoid News. Yo, fucking like, share, and subscribe. Peace.